opening statement. Pursuant with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been published in the Pemberton County Times and further posted on the 18th day of January 2026. Divine Barons Tribune on the 16th day of January 2026. Additionally posted in the official bulletin board of the Township of Pemberton on the 12th day of January 2026. Those wishing to be notified of changes to the meeting schedule are notified via email or regular mail. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Dewey?
Here.
Mr. Charleroi?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here. Here.
Mr. Harper?
Here. Mayor, do you have something? Yeah. Okay, I just want to make sure that was still happening. Sorry about that.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey, Chris, can you pull it up? So, a few weeks ago, we had a medical emergency at DPW. One of our employees had a situation, and just the point set, acted quickly, attended to the employee that was down, and gave him some medical attention he needed until the ambulance arrived. Chris here is a Marine, right? Was a Marine always a Marine? So the skills he learned as a Marine, he employed those skills to aid this employee that was having a medical situation, held him safely until the ambulance got here, and made sure he got the ambulance safely and got the appropriate medical treatment. I'm going to read the certificate real quick. In recognition of the outstanding contributions and dedication to Pemberton Township, his appointed bravery, compassion, and determination contributed to ensuring the safety of his team member during a difficult situation. We express our deepest gratitude and admiration for his efforts. Certificate signed by myself and Council President Mr. Harper. Thank you for helping out our.
My friend, he needed some help, so that's what I did. But I do it for everyone. That's all I really got.
So you represent this council.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, at this time, we do have some business that we need to attend to via closed session. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to close session.
I'll second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Charleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes, and we'll try to make this as quick as possible. Mayor and BA, join us, please.
Ah, perfect. Have fun.
Okay, so it's a two truck operation.
All right, call the meeting back to order. No formal action will be made from the closed session. Now we'll move on to public comment. Council's intention is to preserve the level of respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct public business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in a dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by council president for the purpose of clarification. Council members can offer comments on the speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5-minute time frame. Who would like to be the first one up for public comment? Mark.
Good evening, Mayor, members of Town Council, everyone here tonight and everyone watching. My name is Marty Grafwenger and I am the President of Browns Mills Improvement Association. I'd like to start talking about phase 1 of our Triangle Beautification Project. We had a very dedicated group of volunteers come out, and I want to be very clear about something. The people who showed up worked very incredibly hard. They gave their time, their energy, and their effort on a Sunday to improve a piece of property that belongs to all of us. Could we have used more hands? Absolutely. And I'll say it plainly, there's always room for more people to show up. But the people who do show up, the ones who consistently come out and do the work, they are the heart of this community, and we are so grateful for them. A special thank you to Department of Public Works, and especially to Bob, who worked right alongside of us all day. We truly appreciate the support, the gravel, and the mulch. It made a huge difference. And special thank you to our good friend Louise, who brought a front end loader. We were able to accomplish a tremendous amount in a short period of time. And if you've ever thought about getting involved, this is your invitation, because phase 2, the planting portion, will take place on Sunday, May 31st at 11 a.m. And we're inviting the entire community to come out and be a part of it. This is your town and your space, and together we are making it beautiful. And we're not stopping there. We have identified additional areas throughout Browns Mills for future beautification projects. We'll be out there all summer long, so keep an eye out. We might be coming to your neighborhood next. Now on to some exciting news. This Saturday at 5 p.m. is our That's Amore Italian dinner. And I want to stress what a great opportunity it is for our community. And it's only $10 per person, and kids under 10 eat free. You'll enjoy food from local Italian restaurants, live music, and our always popular door prize baskets. I do have tickets with me tonight, and I will tell you we are very close to being sold out. I only have a few tickets left, and tonight is the last night I'm selling tickets to this. Then on June 5th at 7 p.m., we're hosting our 1960s dance party, so come dressed in your best 1960s style, enjoy great music, free food, and a fantastic time with friends old and new. On June 28th at 2 p.m., we'll hold our BMIA Recognition of Excellence Luncheon. This is my favorite event of the year. If you are a BMIA member in good standing and you have a child or grandchild graduating preschool, 8th grade, or high school, we have a gift for them. No applications, no essays, no GPA requirements. We celebrate our members, and membership has its privileges. So please make sure to let me know so we can recognize your graduate properly. And speaking of that weekend, our Water Carnival and Parade is June 27th, and as always, BMIA will be there with the float, and of course we intend to win. We are always looking for some real competition this year. I will say this, there's been a lot of interest in floats lately, and I have a feeling this year's parade is going to be one of the best yet. And if you are part of an organization, a business, or considering a run for office, there is no better way to connect with this community than to show up, participate, and be part of something that brings people together. This is our town's marquee event, and it's a very powerful way to show that you are invested in the people of Browns Mills. And finally, on Tuesday, May 19th at 6 p.m., the BMIA will be hosting an important community event on human trafficking awareness at our building on 40 Arbutus Street in partnership with the In His Image Justice Coalition and our police department. We will be providing light refreshments, and we encourage everyone to attend. This is not just another event. This is about awareness, education, and responsibility. Human trafficking is a really real and very serious issue. It does not just happen somewhere else. It happens in communities like ours, and too often it affects the most vulnerable, especially women and children. These individuals who may be controlled, manipulated, and afraid to ask for help, and at many times the signs are there, but we don't recognize them. And that's why this event matters. This is also something that is very important to me personally through my work with the Seroptimus International of Rancocas Valley. For those who may not be familiar, the Seroptimus is a global volunteer organization focused on improving the lives of women and girls through education, empowerment, and support. It's a group of people who come together with one goal, and that is to make life better for women and girls in our communities and around the world. It's also another wonderful way to get involved, give back, and truly make a difference. If you've ever wanted to be something bigger than yourself, this is it. The work we do through Seroptimus and the work we do through BMIA go hand in hand because both are about lifting people up, protecting those who are vulnerable, and building a stronger, safer community. We all need to know what to look for. We all need to understand how to respond safely and appropriately if we believe someone may be in trouble. So we need to be the kind of community that doesn't look the other way. Because being a strong community means to look out for one another. It means to be paying attention. It means to be speaking up and getting help when something doesn't feel right. It means caring enough to act responsibly. We cannot assume someone else will do it. It has to be all of us. At the BMIA, everything we do comes back to one simple idea: neighbors helping neighbors. We are building something special here, and I'm very proud to be part of it. And thank you, and have a good night.
Thank you, Marty.
Good evening, council members, mayor, administration, and department heads. My name is Millie Tuches, and I live at 23 Leland Street. And it's an honor to be up here and to be able to bring some questions, because I always like to ask questions that I might already have the answer to, but sometimes other residents don't have the answers or they don't have the full explanation. So I want to start with resolution, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them, just so you know. 149-2056 authorizes a change order. I would like to know what that change is. The other thing I want to ask about is the tax abatement, 14-2026. And not so much about that, but about the sunset, the provision, the sunset provision date. Can someone please explain to us what exactly that is and why you're changing it? I think it's good. I mean, I know what it is, but I think the residents need to understand what that is. So the sunset date, what the sunset provision date, because that changes some things. And why are we doing that? Why are we removing that? Because removing that, it matters. Resolution 153-155, canceling multiple grants. Can administration explain why multiple grants are being canceled at the same time at this meeting? What happened? Were they deadlines that were missed or conditions that were unmet? How much outside funding, if any, is being forfeited? And what corrective actions are being taken to ensure future grant opportunities are not lost? Okay, the water infrastructure spending for the Fort Dix water rehab. I understand that's 156-2026. I understand that is, and I'm gonna direct this to Candace because I know she has the most information about this. I believe this might be the last phase, and I know the dollar figure for this is, it blew my mind when I saw it. It's $500,000 plus. So if I would like Candace to explain how we got there. I know that the amount that was anticipated was actually higher. It was like something like $1.2 million. But so if Candace could just explain to us how we got there, and that this money isn't in addition to what's already been budgeted for. So, you know, just to give us an explanation, because it's a lot of money, and when we see that, you know, we're already saying the township is spending so much money, and now we're spending more. So, you know, if we could have an explanation of that. honestly, I think that's all for tonight.
All right, Millie, thank
Larry,
you.
can I start a couple? You want?
Um,
Where did you want to? I
Yeah,
want to step on your toes.
Well, I'll go for a quick one, to knock three out of one shot. The three grants, Millie, two of them, they're being closed out. We finalized them, and I guess canceled was the wrong term. They've been completed, done. The one, grant was canceled by this council, as there were some problems going on with it, and, actually, the DEP kept changing the scope of work, but didn't wanna give us any more money for it. So this council decided to stop that project.
Just squash it.
Yes.
Yeah, language is important, like you
Yes.
said, you know,
So-
cancel and.
So, yes,
Yeah,
two were
finalized.
finalized, and the other one was actually canceled.
Okay.
As far as, I'm gonna let Jennifer, if she doesn't mind, to the Fort Dix. Candace isn't here tonight, but
Oh,
Jennifer
I'm
has
sorry.
the most.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Jennifer has the most information
Had
on the Fort
Candace on
Dix
the brain.
project, and,
Jennifer.
and once she's done, I'll let Barry take over what he wants to do.
My deepest apologies, Jennifer.
You're fine, it's quite all right. So, just so everyone is aware, this is the project that is related to the Greenberg Farm. If you remember, I don't actually remember how long ago it was at this point, but we had a conversation when we did the bond ordinance, regarding the water main project that's in two phases. This is the first phase of that project. This is the portion that a contractor needed to construct. DPW will be doing the second part of it, and then technically what we call phase two, so this is 1A and 1B, phase two is the water tower. All of this was accounted for in the bond ordinance. This is phase 1A that went out to bid. The price that we estimated that this was gonna cost the township was gonna be between $800,000 and $900,000. The bids we received ranged from the low bid, which is what you see in the agenda, for $576-ish, don't have the number in front of me, $1,000, to $1.2 million to construct it. So the township is actually saving money based on the bids that came in from the engineer's estimate. So that is the $500,000 that is being hopefully awarded tonight. It was already accounted for. It is not new money that the township is spending. It was accounted for in the bond ordinance.
Thank you, Jennifer. Barry, which one would you like to work on? Oh, I'm sorry.
You just killed four of them, so. The other one, really from what I remember reading, I don't think I'm crossing this with another one, the one for the change order for the final payment, that is a contractual payment that has to be made. But if, I remember what I was reading in there, the actual payment is about $10,000 less than what we had projected it to be. So that's a good change order.
So cumulatively, you guys are saving us some money.
Well, we're trying, we won't take all the credit for it.
Well,
Yeah, it was
that's why I said-
$10,140 less than it was originally
Right.
quoted.
So let me rephrase that. Collectively,
Yeah.
we are doing, some good to save some money, getting the lowest bids that we can.
Yes.
I just hope that the lower bid doesn't translate into inferior work, which I'm sure it won't, but, those are things to consider. But thank you very much for answering my questions.
Thank you.
Oh, you didn't answer the sunset provision.
Oh, okay, Joe, you wanna handle that?
I was just gonna say, that one's on for introduction, so there's really no public comment regarding that one. But all it is it's removing the residential portion of, the residential portion.
We'll get more into that when we do the
Okay.
introduction. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, my name is Alexander Costa. I live at 2950 Route 70. Secondly, nice shirts. I didn't know they were selling these shirts on the internet, so they're not? Oh,
Bought them at the farmer's market.
really? Might have to attend the next one. All right, I just wanted to talk about a few resolutions. 136/2026. My question is, what are they trying to do with this easement? Are they trying to get heavy equipment like a excavator back through there? And are they using the right side of the train station or the left side to get where they need to? Because from my understanding, this is next to the Wawa, the train station. So I don't know if they're using the easement between the Wawa and the train station, and they just need our approval to come over onto our side for a little bit to do the work they need. Just a little clarification on that. 148, setting the rates of compensation for non-represented employees. I see this is back on here again. I know we, a few meetings ago, had voted on something pretty similar to this, so I was just wondering if a few employees were probably left out and we're just adding them into the mix for setting their rates. 149, my question is, how much is the final payment and when will the phase 5 begin? 150, 2026, does the grant say what the police can use this money for? 151, 2026, how much is the township obligation and how much is the JIF going to be covering? 155, 2026, how much is this contract extension going to be? 157, 2026, will this asphalt purchase be for upcoming road repaving projects? You don't have to answer that. Mr. Tom answered that question for me in the back over there. Thank you, Mr. Tom. 159, 2026, what is the total amount of outstanding municipal court debt the township is trying to recover, and how will the private collection agency be compensated, either through a flat fee or a percentage of how much they're collecting? 161, 2026, about how many homes will be built and how many will go towards our fair share? For number 13, how much is the bill list? And I just have a few general questions I do need to ask. When will the Mirror Lake Dam project begin? And I know we had to order those lights, the really fancy ones with the flower things. Do we know if we've ordered those already? Do we also know what is happening with the old college? Do we know when the demolition is going to be starting for that? Do we have any new information on Sycamore Hall? And I did see the for sale sign is back up again. Mr. Mayor, are you still on the Veterans Advisory Committee?
I am not.
No? Do we know if they're going to be doing a parade this year?
They are.
Okay. Do you know if that'll be published pretty soon? Because 31st is coming up kind of fast.
I will follow up on
All right, thank you. I also wanted to give my compliments to whoever does the newsletter. They did a really good job. And do we know when the 2026 budget is going to be introduced? Because a lot of people are kind of wondering what the township tax increase is going to be. Everybody knows the school board went up 26%, which I don't know how much everyone else is going up, but I can tell you that my mom and dad's are going up $1,500. That's a lot of money, and you know, in this economy, the gas is going up, the food's going up. Belts are starting to tighten around here. How can we ask people to give more of what they don't have? And that's it.
I think it, you can take whichever ones you want.
So the budget.
Microphone.
Sorry. Sorry about that. The budget will be introduced at the next council meeting.
All right.
And the reason why it's taking so long is that we've been doing our best to minimize the impact on the residents. I can promise you, you're not gonna see a 26% tax increase. I can't tell you exactly what it's gonna be right now, for obvious reasons, but we've been working very hard on doing what we can to minimize any impact, if any at all. So that's all I can say right now, but it will be introduced in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
I can take the one for the Wawa. Alex, the reason Danny and I kind of put a hold on this the last meeting was because we wanted to do some background checks on whether or not they were up to date on their fees for the water and stuff. And what I found out was that for the last 12 billing periods, which is 2 years, they've been paying in excess of $800 per quarter. There were 2 quarters where they were only billed $80-some because the meter was not working properly. They got the meter up and running. They back billed them to the tune of almost $2,500, which they paid right away. But I also did find out in looking and speaking with Mr. McNaughton, they look back all the way to 2011, and back in 2011, they were even paying in excess of $500 per quarter. So at no time were they paying any residential fees instead of the business fees that were associated with that lot. So in my opinion, I'm gonna be voting yes on this. There is no reason to hold anything up for a right-of-way to allow them to do some repairs, expansions, improvements, whatever they need to do on the back of their lot. It's gonna be minimal impact for travel to get the necessary equipment and to do what they need to do. And let's face it, obviously, if there's anything that they're improving on the property, they're probably gonna increase their property value, right? What goes up if property value goes up?
Tax value.
Exactly. So why would we say no to a good business in this town that's been doing everything he has going, especially paying their taxes on time?
Councilman Doyle.
And,
You got a zero on the, back bill, it's 25,000.
Really?
And they
My apologies.
Average 844 a quarter.
No,
2,500,
Right.
It's 25,000.
2,500 and change was the back bill for Wawa. It was only 2.5 quarters that their bill was off because of the meter issue.
I think you're thinking of a different one.
Yes,
Yes, you're right.
yes.
just to add on to that, the work that's being done at the Wawa is a DEP mandated remediation of chemicals in the soil.
Alright, so I'm assuming they're gonna have to take a couple truckloads out. 148,
148, until it's one employee is all I can tell you right now. Until we vote on it, I can't say anymore. 139, let me see if I have an answer.
you need me to repeat the question?
Over
Total,
the 10,000.
yeah, the total payment, last payment is 534,000, and that finalizes phase 4.
Is that out of the bond money that we approved a couple meetings ago?
No, that was from a former bond that was approved in 24, I believe. And it was before I got on, I know that. And there was a different business administrator here, then I won't mention any names. So, 51, Alex, let's see. Can't say anything about that until it's been approved. We have to vote on that, so it's still in private until we vote on it. And I think is that all your questions?
I had a
Court
lot.
59.
155, you know how much that contract extension was? That was the sludge, for sludge?
Tom, what we paid last year with that, I know what we're paying per gallon.
So this year, the contract extension, the request is 71,000 and change.
Okay.
Last year, we were paying 0.1485 cents per gallon. When we do a contract extension for a contract that was formerly bid, the contractor has the option to extend it if there's extensions in the contract, but they're limited by how much they can increase it to what the current index rate is. This year, they had the ability to raise the rate as much as 3%. They only raised it to 0.1492 cents, which equated to like a half a percent increase. So they had the ability to increase it 3%. They only increased a 0.5%. And we'd like to continue moving on with the contract. It's a vital contract for us.
And I don't, for 159, I don't have up-to-date numbers, but at the meeting about a month or so ago, we were around 200,000 out on the street waiting to be collected. And this is just to go out to bid. The most these services can get is 22%, but there are some out there, depending on who bids on it, maybe less of a percentage. But even if it's 22%, it's money that we're not getting at this point. So, you know, you've
Well,
got
a little extra
200.
doesn't hurt.
What's that?
A little extra doesn't hurt to have in the pocket.
That's correct, yes. And I think that, bill
Bill
list. It's 4.7 million, but of that, over 2 million goes to school, over 2 million goes to the county between county taxes and landfill fees. So that means we kept it to about 500,000 that we spent.
And you know when the Mirror Lake Dam project's gonna begin?
know it's supposed to go out to bid sometime soon. Everything's being checked out. We had some wind ratings that we had to get, checked out for the poles to withstand winds and stuff. Yeah. So it should be going out to bid, soon. I don't wanna give a date, but it's being double checked at this point. That's all I can say.
What about the old college, you know what's going on there?
Not a word.
And what about Sycamore Hall? Have those people come back to negotiate? Alright. And, can we get some speakers in the back room? Cause
No,
it's hard to hear you
You're out
guys.
of time. You're out of time. Anyone else for public comment?
Thank you. Can't be right all the time.
At 3317 Birmingham Road. I just want to say thank you as far as resolution 136, 2026. I know you guys were intimate and wanted to make sure township money was collected before anything was approved. You did your due diligence, and thank you for taking care of that. The ordinance for second reading, ordinance number 14-2026. I understand that this was way before all of your guys' time, back in 2022. We had a totally different council, and they approved this, 5-year exemption and abatement. Houses right now, from what I understand, are being bought up quick, and the reasoning for them wanting this is so that they can get their houses sold. I'm being told the average person is putting their house on the market and selling within 3 to 4 days. So I am still totally against ordinance number 14-2026. If there's a way that we can say, hey, we're not offering it, I'm sure you're gonna sell your houses, you're not gonna have any problems, as long as you do a good job. I don't think it's necessary. Everything I look into, the abatement program, it should be for those people that are coming into Browns Mills in Pemberton Township, finding a beautiful old house and saying, hey, I'm gonna fix this up, make it beautiful, and if you can cut me a tax break for 5 years while I'm doing all of this work, because the work is expensive, I'd greatly appreciate it, and I think that's what the abatement should be used for. The way it's worded on the ordinance, under the whereas, where is it? Any improvements made in the development of the redevelopment area, I don't know, I read it back there. Basically, the township exemption on project improvements to the property pursuant to the exemption law. I mean, they're getting this abatement for project improvements to the property. When the people are buying the homes, it's a brand new home, what are they improving? And improving property from being a farm to building a brand new home on it. I'm curious to know what the taxes are gonna be set on these properties. I mean, hopefully not on the farmland cost. This whole ordinance seems totally ridiculous to me. And last but not least, new business, 12B, parade permit. I'd like more information on this parade that's gonna be going down my road. And it said something, people are gonna be filming, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable with someone filming my, going down our street. I definitely would like a lot more information on this. It says public hearing required, so are you gonna have another conversation for when that comes up?
Anyone question?
Yep.
Yes, on the parade permit, at this point in time, we just got somebody requesting to do some filming, and this is the first step to apply for what's considered a parade permit for police involvement and stuff like that.
And as far as the parade permit, Patty, it's between South Pemberton Road and Pemberton Road, which is Vincenttown Road. So it's the portion across the street from us on the other side of 38. It's gonna be a new movie coming out on Netflix, a TV series called Rabbit Rabbit. And they are going to shoot the portion of what says in there, some type of, I guess, quote-unquote, high-speed police pursuit between a convict who escaped from jail being pursued by the police. And I guess they're gonna shoot it on the farm road over there. So they're requesting a shutdown from 6 to midnight that night. So yeah, you can look for part of Pemberton Township possibly to be in the movies.
Okay, so where it says film shoot for Birmingham Road from South Pemberton, they're not gonna be like doing a car chasing down our road?
I don't have that information. They're asking to shut the road down from South Pemberton Road across to Pemberton Road for 18 hours so they can shoot movies. That's all we know. Nothing to do with Route 38, nothing to do with our side of Birmingham Road. It's also Birmingham Road on the other side of the highway.
Alright. Thank you.
As we get more details, we'll make sure the public knows.
Alright, thank you.
Anyone else for public comment?
Hello, I'm Stephen Mark, Georgia, Browns Mills, New Jersey. I was reading something about hiring a construction official. And I didn't quite understand what's going on. Be hired as a part-time or shared official in Medford. Could you explain that to me?
You gotta ask all your questions first, Mr. Georgia, and then we'll respond.
I don't understand. That's why I'm asking. My question is he being hired for more than $100,000 by Pemberton and more than $100,000 by Metro? I mean, is each town paying him $100,000?
Is that all your questions?
Excuse me?
Is that all your questions, sir?
I don't understand it, so I'll probably have another question because I didn't understand what I read. For some reason, it just couldn't register properly.
All right, well, we did hire go into a shared service agreement with Tabernacle Township
Okay.
for a building official. Yes, the amount is correct. It's $140,000. And he's doing work here and in Tabernacle Township.
Is that $140,000 being split by Pemberton pays 70?
No.
And how's it being split?
We're responsible for $140,000 a year.
How much does a construction official normally cost?
It ranges. I mean, I know some that are making more than that, and I know some that are making less than that.
Well, then what did we pay the last construction official we had?
I think it was 70,000, but this guy's taking the place of more than one person.
3, is that correct? He's construction, zoning, and plumbing?
He's doing electrical, construction, plumbing, everything,
He's doing everything?
everything.
Being the building official, he oversees all the lower
So how
officials.
much money is that saving us as a township?
It'll be bringing money into our town,
Bringing money in?
yes. Because for the last couple of years, the job hasn't been done the way it should have been. And he's very educated, knows his job, very well known. And he's building his staff right now, and hopefully this time next year, we can say, they brought in quite a few bucks to the department.
Now, my other question, this movie that's coming to Pemberton Township, are they paying us to have the road shut down? Or do they get that for free?
All I know, Mr. Georgia, is that they wanna utilize a roadway and they wanna shut it down from what, if it falls under a parade ordinance, which is what they have to apply to the township for. Only part of that roadway belongs to Pemberton. The other half belongs to Southampton, so I can only imagine they've applied for Southampton as well. If they get the permit, then we'll have the road shut down for them for that period of time they requested. And I would imagine, I can't speak for it, but Ro, I would imagine if they need police out there to maintain it, that's obviously paid for by them, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So I would say on one end, it would probably be Pemberton, and on the other end, it may be state police. Could be covered both ends by state police, whichever route we choose to go, or they choose to go.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening, everyone. Mike's off the 92 Straight Town Road. One general comment about consent agenda. Consent agenda is for routine, not just putting a star to all the resolutions, then we have to ask a whole bunch of questions. What the council should be doing, or the council president should be marking which ones they consider routine in the whole set of resolutions, so we don't even have to worry about it, and then we know that you all will be talking about the rest before voting it, instead of forcing us to go through and ask a whole bunch of questions. Consent agenda, look up the definition. Next. I understand 151, 2026, you can't say anything until it's voted on, but do we have to pay a portion to insurance or deductible or anything on that settlement? I don't know if you can answer that yet. 159, 2026, the municipal court debt. Do we know what the total uncollected debt is from this municipal court? Do we know that the municipal court has collection capabilities? They can go and cancel people's driver's licenses. Why do we have to pay somebody when the municipal court should be doing this first? Have they even done that first? Have they done their job before we go and give up a bunch of the debt money to a collection agency? And who is this collection agency? Who's getting the kickbacks? The 161, the Bobolink redevelopment agreement. Can you specifically say that there will be 0 tax abatements in this, since we don't know what it is yet? Can we put that on public record today? Let's talk about this ordinance you're putting through. First, your financial agreement. Just a real quick proofread. You got the wrong year in the top paragraph. You're still in 2025 for the date. Next, financial analysis. In here it talks about how the town has agreed that this will be financially beneficial. Where was the actual financial analysis, the cost-benefit analysis? Where is that in writing to show how much we're gonna get, how much they're gonna get, how much we're gonna lose, how much we could be making? To say that this is actually beneficial on paper, not just someone's opinion. Also, the redevelopment agreement, at the special meeting we had last week, I was asking about the tax abatement because it was nowhere in the plan. I was told it's in the redevelopment agreement and to overhead. I figured I don't have to wait till tomorrow, till the deadline of my Oprah, to get that, since the special counsel for that had it and everybody else has it. Why can't I see it before today's meeting when you go to vote on it? To see if there really is something in that redevelopment agreement that forces the town to actually give the tax abatement, or do you not want to show it because after the ordinance is passed, it's hard to reverse something when I show you that it wasn't. That's it.
I'm not sure if council's going to table the Bobolink one, but I could assure you that there is no tax abatement in that agreement.
Okay. Do we know the total uncollected debt from the municipal court?
As I said to to one of the other residents earlier, the most recent numbers I had is about 200,000. And they have been severely restricted on what they're capable of doing. And this is just a proposal to go out to find a debt collection service, so that has to be put out for an RFP.
And will I get a redevelopment agreement by tomorrow? Because that's the deadline of my hope.
If that's the deadline, I guess you'll get it unless they request an extension.
Well, they shouldn't, because the special counsel had it last week. So you shouldn't be having the search for it.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
How you guys doing? My name is Jamie Sable, 3531 Weymouth Road. I just wanted to ask, I know there's a lot of construction going on and roads being fixed. Is there any way you can tell me if there's any information on the Rancocas Lane Road going specifically towards Denbo School, the crosswalks, that area? Obviously, it's a lot of potholes in that road. I think I went through today, counted almost 37, at least 3 to 6 inches deep. If they can look into seeing who owns that, if it's Bel Air, if it's public. I know that's not on the agenda or nothing, but that's something that a lot of people have shown concerns, buses, kids walking, the crosswalk even has holes in it. One of the crosswalks actually has a telephone pole directly in it, entering at the entrance of the school area where they walk. So, it's the only questions I have.
All right, I don't want to misspeak, but I know Rancocas Lane, part of it, the town owns, part of it is owned by Bel Air. So I guess depending on where the potholes are.
Barkley Drive to Rancocas Lane, that aspect.
Is that the private section, Tom?
I know it's half and half, but I'm not sure.
So we have from Lakehurst up to, sorry, we have from from Lakehurst to just past the first intersection, and then it converts to the private road.
Okay, I guess, then that would fall upon code, I guess, to inform Bel Air that they need to fix some potholes?
Let me go out tomorrow and look at it myself. I'll determine if there's any on our side, any on their side, and I'll coordinate with Ken after that.
All right.
You know, I live in the area, do you know they've been throwing stones and stuff in it, but they're just making them significantly. Even some of the water mains that are there, you can see we're coming up almost 2 to 3 inches that impact the cars.
Tom, since part of that is private, that happened a few years back, how does that work as far as making them responsible for that portion of the roadway?
So it's private property.
It's private.
Yeah,
Right.
to me, and Ken, if I'm wrong, correct me, it would become a code enforcement issue.
It would be.
I'm looking at my yearly right now. Last month, we patched 25 potholes on Rancocas Lane, so we're maintaining our section. I will go out tomorrow, though, like I said, there's a chance that they might open back up.
I've only lived
So,
there for-
so here, my question, playing devil's advocate on this is, since that is private, couldn't they essentially go out there and blockade it on both ends so it's not usable?
I don't wanna say they can or can't do that, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I've lived there 8 years and our rent went up 4 times in the last 3 or 4 years, so, you know, in the last 5 years, it went up 4 times, so I see we don't pay as much as a lot, but it's something significant. I've gotten 2 flats myself on that road already, and it's just gonna impact us. There's buses that go down there. I don't know if they were supposed to or not, but today I definitely saw a bus 38 down there, coming up to the sign, and the stop sign that's on Bel Air's at the entrance of where the school is for the crosswalk. It's on the grass, not at the road, or it's literally just make the right. I've asked the crossing guard there, and she says the same thing. So they don't usually stop, they kind of will stop. It's public information.
All right, we'll have our people check into it, see what we can do. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me, sir,
Well, if that,
I get your info?
if that belongs to Bel Air, how about if you give them a letter and tell them that the road's in
Just wanna get your name and
repair?
number so I can reach out to you.
And when their renewal comes up, and if the road's not repaired, they don't get a renewal.
That's right. I'll make sure I handle it because.
Okay, thank you.
Ride around once in a while. maybe you'll see something, open your eyes.
Hey, Joe,
621.
address us, please, thank you.
Yeah.
6'9".
Well, I'm gonna address you the same thing then.
Okay.
6'9".
Tell your people over here to ride around town and see
Yeah,
this
it's
stuff.
been a while. I mean, I
People
get their
shouldn't have
emails
to
now,
come in here
but
to council meetings
They do fill it in.
and
I see they
complain.
do fill it in, but their maintenance is.
because you got $100,000 a year people over here sitting here that don't do their job.
Last year, from a maintenance guy.
I had to complain about Pole Bridge.
Give you the.
Got potholes up there, I see you got them filled.
So we can hydraulic.
But I had to come in here and say something because people don't do their job and ride around.
But that's, I brought up the.
It's the same shit's been going on for 20 years, it's just not this council. Something's wrong down with Public Works. Here's your problem. That's your problem down there in Public Works, leadership. All right? Yeah, look over at him. Switch your eyes over to Tom. But you don't want to ever say nothing to him about it, right? Bullshit. So my question was about something what Mike had to say about this tax abatement. Is there, and you said you asked a question once when you were back in the audience, Mr. Hornicle, is there any more tax abatements on the horizon? Any new developments? Anything in this town that's gonna get a tax abatement? Is there anybody on this council that would approve a tax abatement? To anybody coming into this town that wants to develop housing, commercial? Is there anybody on this council that would agree to a tax abatement? Well, I hope not. I came up here, I was gonna say how nice the farm market was, but the last guy got me all riled up because that shouldn't happen. Shouldn't have to have residents come in here and complain because people aren't doing their job and nobody is ever reprimanded, I guess, or nothing. You give out certificates for people that do great work.
Joe, please.
But is there anybody being? So, that's about it. I had more to say, but I forgot what I was saying. Do your job. Do their job. Yeah, shake your head. I'll bet you it happens again within a month.
Joe, we're always gonna have people coming in and requesting to do
Yeah.
repairs.
Well, if you ride around and did your job, if he did his job down there, if you had leadership, but you're afraid to say something to him.
As far as I'm concerned as council president, I think the township employees are doing a fine, outstanding
Yeah.
job.
Yeah, keep kissing
They,
their ass, Howard.
they answer any
Keep
questions that
kissing
need
their
to be
ass, Howard.
answered.
Nobody ever does a bad job, right?
Joe, I'm not gonna keep talking if you're
Yeah,
gonna keep
nobody
talking.
ever does a bad job, right? They all keep their job, they all get a raise next year,
Joe.
right? Or our taxes go up. Thanks a lot, Mr. King, for your 26% tax increase. You got a lot of nerve sitting in this office. Thanks a lot, Mr. King. What, now they ain't got nothing to say tonight? I wouldn't either.
Good evening, everybody in general. My name is America Phillips. Live in this community for 46 years and a half. I'm focused right now myself, not for myself, but for the community. And all the residents come from another state to have a good time and bring
Once you do
revenue
your
to
job,
town.
you're code enforcement, right?
Okay,
The $100,000 a year man.
My problem is going to be, if I been when, I cannot go more further than that. I know that I gotta get an open request. But, our town, we have township property, we have county property, we have state property. Manchester is next to us. With all the accident has been happening on 530 East and Route 7 East. Seeing that we can roll the wheel, remember the squeaky wheel get the oil. I am not a person. We have people who represent the community. Please, try to work. We need a traffic light. I travel to Medford, I travel to Southampton. The highway Route 70, the least got a left lane turn signal. The only thing I can say here in Pemberton, in Route 70, we got crosses. In 2 years, 2 people died right there. Nothing has been done. They told me they were going to do something. Nothing been done. Now we talk about the 530 East and Route 70 back again. I'm going to leave it there. Please, like I stated, the commissioners, they didn't go there for their looks. People put them in there to work. When the people bring a complaint, go down there and see the problem. You don't have to live around here like I stated to the commissioner. I guarantee you that some of them, they never been went away. Like I stated to them, they bring the rateable, the people bring the rateable to this state. That's how we survive. Don't send them in coffins, send them the way they came. Okay, I'm going to shop now in my community right now. Very nice time. I'm walking plenty now, and I really am checking and seeing things. I am an observer. I talk to people and I observe. Okay. I've been traveling back and forth all different places and walking. I brought to their attention. I even called the police last Friday. They came and see the Old Lake store. I know the Old Lake store is some kind of delegation of whatever it is. Okay, now, today is Wednesday. I noticed that place was open last Friday. Please get a piece of the board and go board it up that building, because you know what the sad part it is? The beach is there. The little kids walking there. We got empty houses. Canary Trail, 903 Canary Trail. It's a house that has been empty for more than 15 years. More than 15 years. I brought it up to their attention, not to this administration, the previous administration. A lady called me and said, I'm walking around there and I smell something is dead there. Okay, I called them. I walked by there, yes. Today I saw people there. I sell, I don't know what did they do there. Anyway, were 2 trucks there. On the way here, I went by. But for myself, I know that that house has been empty for more than 15 years. And nothing has been done about it. I know they pay their taxes. I have another house, 510 North Carolina. The sad part it is, I know the people who own that house doesn't even live here. One live in Camden, the other one live in Philadelphia. The way I see that house today, more than 10 years. And it's disgraceful. If I want to sell my house and I have a house next to me, this is the kind of thing where we have to look on it. Because they pay their taxes, we not worry about it. That's not right. Okay, now I got 2 more questions. What time the lights in the park turn it off? Okay, my second one it is, all the portable parks are in the park? I wanted that answer.
Okay, Ms. Bowles, thank you. I believe the lights in the park, PL go off at 10 o'clock, I believe.
I don't remember the exact time.
Bologna, 12 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the morning, lights are on it. I go by there.
All right, we'll check the timers.
There's a board and do the piece of the land there. Thank you.
evening.
Evening, Joe.
I, first off, wanted to compliment the mayor on coming up with a suggestion at the school board meeting with shared services. And I think that ought to be pursued from our end to see the advantages that we may gain from that on the township side, for sure. So thank you for that. The Wawa, DEP, remediation, do we have an actual cause and effect of what they're remediating? I'm wondering what caused it. Obviously Wawa, but what exactly was the problem there? And just how extensive are they going to be? Is it inside their building, the back of the building, or has it extended out beyond their property line there? Okay. 151-2026. I may have missed it, but what is the cost settlement to the township in that suit?
Is that all your questions, Joe?
Actually, yes.
151, we can't answer that until we vote on that because it's still private
okay.
matter.
All right.
The Wawa matter, the DEP is a cleanup actually from when the railroad was there, and it's some of the old stuff left over from the railroad, but it's on Wawa's property and they have to access it through ours.
Okay.
So it's they've had monitoring wells there for I don't know how many years,
Yeah.
and now they just came up with a formulation. From what I understand, it's very minor. They just have to, I don't know how far down they have to clean, just top surface and stuff, and then put back, new dirt and stuff like that. But it's, from what we were told, it's all from the old railroad stuff that was there.
Are they going to be having to cut down and clear the area back there?
Well, right there now is mostly, just young saplings and stuff there, so I'm sure they'll have to replant whatever they take out of there.
Okay.
I don't know the full extent of it, but, and that's about all I can tell you about that one.
Okay.
I do know statewide, lately the DEP has been going around at very long-standing chemical spills. Somebody I know in Tabernacle owns a piece of property where there was a gas station 40 years ago, and only just now the DEP is demanding remediation on it, even though those chemicals have sat in the ground for 40 years. So somebody got to be under their bonnet, and they're going around and looking at all these sites.
Joe, that property where the Wawa is used to be Presidential Homes. And that's where they were prefabbing the houses for Presidential Lakes. And there
Okay.
was a boat factory there. And then eventually Trilco bought the property and there was Trilco Lumber Yard.
Right, yeah, I remember Troco for sure.
So,
Yep.
but originally they were prefabbing houses there for PO. It's called Presidential Homes.
Right, right. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm just making a move.
Okay, apologize if I didn't hear it correctly, but did anybody answer Joe on anything in Verizon on tax breaks? Did you guys answer him on that question, or? So if you didn't, that's one of my questions I'd like to answer. Second, who is the lawyer for the ordinance that's on, introduction tonight? He was here at the special meeting we had in last council. What's the name of that lawyer? I never saw him before, and is he with? Oh, there you are. Good to see you.
Not bad.
Oh, okay. Are you with his firm or?
I'm not.
Oh, okay, so at the end, I
We'll
would like to have
answer all your
everything, thank you.
questions once you get them all in.
And so, the other thing I wanted to know is, the barn and this, okay, are we gonna be able to ask questions about this, even though we asked a few questions at the last special meeting?
Second reading of ordinance, yes, we'll have public comment.
And so, the barn and the silo, you said there wasn't a time frame that they were mandated to tear that down. So, what are you saying, they could tear it down in 100 years if they want? Does anybody have a new deadline for that? That's one question. The other question I have is, the college, I know at the Economic Development Committee, where I got Marty's, notes over it, that, Matt, you were talking about the development at the college, and I was just wondering, in those notes, and I was just wondering, what kind of development were you talking about, if you can remember? And the other thing is, on that, you said Harry, you said there were 2 subcommittees. I wanna know what those 2 subcommittees were for. Why did you have to have 2 different subcommittees, and for what topic are you working on with that? And who is on the subcommittees? And the other thing is, the last few meetings, you guys said there's no closed meetings, to the public for economic development. Has there been any closed meetings since? And the other question I have is, Ellie's laundromat, has anything come about with, letting them buy the emergency squad or have a place to have the laundry that at? There's, 5 questions. Amy, how many more minutes do I have? 2. Okay. The other question thank you. The other question I have is about the solar panels that Harry was talking about, putting them in the parking lot and on the roofs up here. Do we have to, pay to get our roofs restructured for that? And also, did you look into why that solar panels were being torn down in Medford and Lenape High School, which one of the residents informed us about? I didn't look into it yet. I have many things on my list to do, and I didn't get around to it yet, although I'd like to find out and talk to somebody in Medford about that, which I will resort to eventually, hopefully, if you guys don't have an answer for me. And, yeah, I also wanna know what they meant when they said, when I saw them in this room right before the Economic Development Committee meeting, they said that they had millions of dollars to throw your way. I was wondering what that means. Are they gonna pay us millions of dollars to put solar panels all over the place around this area? Last question, I know it's a lot, but last question is, the trail, Realty Trail, are you selling that or giving it to the county, or is that ours? Or is it in a process of being sold to the county? That's it.
You got them all? Okay, let me go backwards here. Rails to Trail. There was a 2009 agreement with that administration at the time to trade the property next door to the township building for the Rails to Trails and the train station. That was never finalized. It's still outstanding. We do have our lawyers looking into, the county's still interested in having the trails. Let us keep the train station, and we get the property next door to the township building. But the lawyers are still looking into that deal. Medford to solar, no, we did not look. I didn't look into why they got rid of theirs. Solar on the roof, we had the company give us, prices, which did include, replacing roofs and stuff like that. But our QPAs told us that even though we're not receiving any money for it, we'd have to go out to bid to have other companies make the same offer or better offer. And with all the other stuff we got going on at this time, we just decided to not move forward with it. And the millions of dollars they were talking about was was federal money that they would get to do these projects. They weren't giving anything to Pemberton Township or anybody else. Ellie's.
That doesn't really explain what they said. Throw it your way, what does that mean?
Well, meaning they can use federal dollars to put the solar on our properties and stuff, and we could save money from it.
So it's not gonna cost you any money to do the solar
That's-
panels if you were to follow through with it?
That's what they were telling us, yes.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
No engineering prices, cost?
No, they would do all the stuff.
But you're putting it on the table for now, back burner for now?
Yep, too many other projects to worry about. Ellie's Laundry, yes, we're still talking with them, they're still interested in the property, but anything takes time, lawyers are working on it.
Well, are they thinking about giving the land to them or selling the land to them? Cause you keep saying the same thing, we're not finalized, we need finalized, month after month.
We are interested in selling and they are interested in buying, but we have to work out all the details. And I don't wanna misspeak to administration since they handle that, but we are negotiating with them. As far as subcommittees for the economic development, there are none right now. The only one we had was about the farmer's market, but now that the farmer's market's in full swing.
Hold on a second, let me stop right there. First of all, there were 2 subcommittee meetings, you said, before you said that. So I'm wondering-
Two meetings, but for the farmer's market.
No, there were closed meetings for the economic and development community, and you said there were subcommittees.
Subcommittees.
No, I'm not talking about, the farmer's market were open to the public. I went to numerous of them.
Well, you went to.
The ones that were open to the public, but there were other ones that were closed to the public.
Yes, where they met with environmental committee, they met with clean communities, recreation, it was a little brainstorming type thing. But now that it's off and running, there's no need for any more subcommittee meetings for that, There was only 2 that were closed, because it was just, we're brainstorming. And I think the brainstorming worked out, it was a well attended event, and it's only gonna get better.
So you're saying there was only 2 closed meetings for
That's
economic
correct. Yep.
development?
Yep. Okay, and the college, I know nothing, I don't know if the mayor knows anything.
Oh, wait, you didn't tell me if you heard anything about, tax breaks, but the answer to Joe's question.
I'm going in backwards.
Did you answer that question?
No, I did not yet.
Okay,
The
okay.
college. Yeah, well, there you go, no more tax abatements as far as this council's concerned. Yeah.
For future development.
That's correct, yes. Mayor, you have
Thank
something
you.
on the college?
So I don't recall saying about a development, I did make a comment about demolition. Because the county did go out for bid to hire somebody to demolish the buildings on the campus.
Yes, that's correct. That's what
Okay,
we
so does
spoke
anybody
about
know what
last
that college property is zoned for right now? Okay, I'll double check on that. I was told that it was on some zoning that I never
Michelle,
heard of.
I'll check into it and I'll call you.
Okay, thank you.
Just remember, that the college property is owned by the county.
I already know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. Seriously, thank you.
And as far as the barns and silos, they got their permits, I guess they have to do it within, I don't know what the time frame of the permits are, but, they will move forward with them.
So they're starting to do work right now.
Yes.
So they're allowed to start work without tearing down the barn and the silos at this point, right?
In the agreement, Michelle, there was never any deadlines for when the barns were supposed to come down. Last meeting, Danny and I merely made comments that we were certainly encouraging them, since that was the reason for the redevelopment justification of that property, that we would have thought that that would be the first thing they'd go after, since they deemed that was the reason it needed to be redeveloped. So Danny and I put some weight on that. They wound up coming in, getting their permits. Now there's a time constraint on whatever the permit is.
But if it was to end, the permit was to end, then
they could also reapply, they don't have to have it done
You would
by
have
an
to speak
special
to
time.
one of the professionals over there in that department on that. I'm not gonna speak on that.
So the bottom line probably is it's that they don't have a time limit yet on when they can tear that down, is that correct? They could basically do it whenever they want. Okay, and how about the lawyer name and what company is it from?
That's Mr. Ed Campbell, he's part of Campbell and Rocco, he's handling the, stuff for the K-Hop.
So he's representing the township or
He's
K-Hop?
representing the township because, our attorneys had a conflict with K-Hop's attorneys, so we put on another counsel.
Is he special counsel? He's always been there for our.
He does,
hired him
he does
separately.
conflict counsel for the planning board, and we brought him in to handle this one since we had a conflict.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else for public comment?
Good evening, everyone. Just wanted to remind everyone to continue emailing our state representatives about
Can I
the-
hear you?
Okay. Okay, hello, can you hear me now? Okay, I just wanted to remind everybody to continue emailing the state representatives for the fair funding formula. That way, hopefully, we don't run into problems again next year. And just to let you know, our ROTC made it down to nationals for national drill and national strength and national, the other one that was in Kentucky a couple of weeks ago. They made that 2 years in a row, which is the first time in a long time our ROTC's done that. We also have a fashion show coming up tomorrow night at the high school, so come on out. And that's pretty much all I have for schools. And I just want to let y'all know there is another benefit to becoming an Eagle Scout. Dolores actually, when they found this college that she's applied to, when they found out she's going to, she was an Eagle Scout, they actually gave her another $2,000 for her scholarship there. So being a scout, being an Eagle Scout can pay off. Other than that, that's about all I have. Y'all have, oh, and our troop is selling Mother's Day flowers Friday and Saturday at the Little Red Schoolhouse. So we'll be there Friday night from 5 to 8, and Saturday we'll be there from 10 to 2, or 10 until we run out of flowers. Come on out, help support the girls, and that's really all I have to say. Y'all have anything for me?
Thank you, Pete. All right, anyone else for public comment?
My name is George Messianis, I live at 3310 Summer Country Lakes Estates. Question? Well, I know this, Mr. Doyle, you around?
Use the mic.
How's that? Better?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Mr. Doyle, is he around? Hi. You're the only one that got back to me about the 26% raise for the taxes. I appreciate that. I've done some homework. It's a little disturbing, but the increase, and I know you guys don't really have that much to do with it, but I think you need to know what I've done as far as my homework and what action I've taken for your benefit, who's ever here for the school board. It's kind of disturbing that the inflation for the last 3 years has been 2.6% for 3 years in a row, but yet our taxes have gone up like 9%, 9%, 9%, now they want 26%. Fine. The law states that there's a 2% cap on taxes. However, there are exceptions to that rule, thanks to Christie came into the unions, where if there's health increases, character increases, This is another criteria. However, these have to be voted on in a general election by the council, or by the voters. I sent an email to the Office of the Attorney General the other day, got an acknowledgement that they'll be back to me within the next 10 days with an answer, if in fact what's going on with the school board is in fact legal and within the criteria. So my interpretation of the law is, and I'm not a lawyer, which is why I consulted the Office of the Attorney General, is that anything over 2% has to be voted on in a general election by the voters. Okay? Now, once again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm waiting to hear back from the Office of the Attorney General. If he says what they're doing is legal without having a vote on this by the voters, which I can't imagine it would be legal, so be it. Then I might try to get the feds involved. I'm not very good at giving up. Okay, so this isn't going to go away as far as I'm concerned. It's just a question how far up the ladder I have to go to get satisfaction. I have friends in the neighborhood. I could take the hit of a 26% increase. I have a lot of friends that cannot. That's massive. Inflation is supposed to be 3.3% this year. Yeah, it's going to go up again. Let's say it's going to go up 5 or 6% because of the oil thing going on. So be it. But guess what? How do you justify a 26% increase if inflation is scheduled to be 3.3%? That's madness. And it's unacceptable. So when I hear back from the Attorney General's office, I'm going to inform the school superintendent and also you guys. Hopefully, I'll get backed up by the Office of the Attorney General that says this budget cannot be passed without the voters voting on it. According to the law, anything over 2% has to be held in a general election. Is anybody aware of a general election being held to vote on that budget? Because I'm not. So something is rotten in Denmark, as they say. So the Attorney General's office says, they'll get back to me within 10 days, we'll go from there. And if they say, well, you know, what they're doing at the board is fine, I'm still not gonna give it up. I'm gonna take it to the federals, to the feds. I'll go as far up the ladder as I have to. I'll let you guys know what the Attorney General says. And also, I'll send a letter to Mr. Havers as well. And I guess we'll go from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir, but as it's been well known, we have nothing to do with the school board's budget.
I understand that, I already went through that with Doyle.
Okay.
But I just want all the taxpayers here to know what the law is. According to my interpretation, I'm not a lawyer. That's why I'm consulting the top cop up in Trenton. And we'll go from there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, we'll close this portion. All right. Moving on. We have consent agenda. Anybody have an appetite for consent agenda or anything you want to pull from that consent agenda?
I do.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Toby.
136, 2026.
Okay.
152, 153, 154, 156.
Slow down. 52, 53.
54.
Okay.
56. And 159.
Okay.
Now, at this time, I think we ought to table 161.
So note that. Anybody else have anything they want to carry on? Let's do this a little backwards. I think when we had a little discussion about Bobolink in the back on 161, we all agreed for all the information we'd like to table it. So I'll entertain a motion to table 161 at this time.
I'll make a motion to table 161, 2026. Second.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Charleroi?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Yes. All right, I'm looking for